Hi everybody, welcome to FABEDhacks. I'm Rosemary, and thanks for stopping by. In today's video, I have more than 30 DIY Mother's Day gift ideas, including some great spa quality aromatherapy gifts, some plant and garden ideas, tea and coffee sets, gourmet food gifts, and several custom photo and frame ideas, plus many, many more. Best of all, most of these can be created using materials you can get at regular grocery stores like Kroger, H-E-B, Publix, and ShopRite, and you can make even more if you grocery shop at stores with a wider range of goods like Walmart, Target, or Dollar Tree. There's a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and jump right in. The first DIY uses a powerhouse of DIY potential in this Dr. Teal's Epsom salt. And this big bag only costs $4.98. Most of the items that I show in this video I did purchase at Walmart, but this Dr. Teal's is available everywhere. And you can see it's a really nice texture, so we'll have several applications we can use it for. And it also just smells amazing. It already has all the essential oils in it, so you don't need to purchase those separate or extra. And it's really high quality. It's the scents are about as good as anything I've ever purchased from Lush or any of the other high-end stores. And then what I'm going to just do is repurpose some of these different jars from different products and package everything that we're going to make with those. And if you don't care for a citrus scent, they do carry multiple other varieties. These were all the ones that were available at my Walmart. However, other stores tend to carry only 2 or 3 of the different varieties. I'm going to repurpose this spaghetti jar, and I just usually use some Goo Gone if I have trouble getting the label off. Once the jar was ready, I just placed the funnel in the top and then added my Epsom salts directly as is to the jar. I also painted the jar lid black, and now I'm going to just apply a nice label to the jar. And I'm going to do that using some Mod Podge. I'm going to be using this label that I made on my computer and printed off, and I will also supply a link to these in the description box below. If you would also like to use them, what I did here was try to mimic that high-end spa, Crate and Barrel, Lush kind of look that you get in those types of stores. And you can see I labeled this one as salt soak since it was poured directly from the Epsom salt bag. And then I just went back with a damp cloth just to go around the edges where I had got some excess Mod Podge. Since these will be near water, I'm going to add a top coat of the Mod Podge. But before I do, I just want to spray the label with some hairspray. This will stop the print from bleeding, but I will want the hairspray and the Mod Podge to dry fully before going ahead and applying that second coat. And now I'm good to go. Everything's nice and dry. I'm going to go and just add that second coat on top. And you can see how I'm not having any issues with bleeding of the print. And then again, just wipe off the excess from the jar on the side of the label with a damp cloth. Now, if you are not a fan of Mod Podge and you're afraid you're going to have some trouble with the labels, it's fine to just go ahead and use a glue stick and just do a coat of the hairspray on top, which will give you some protection. And now I'm going to use the Dr. Teal's to make a milk bath by using 2 cups of instant powdered milk, 1 cup of the Dr. Teal's Epsom salts, again in that citrus scent, and then 1/2 cup of baking soda. And since I'm using the scented Epsom salts, there's no need to add any essential oil. Just mix it all together, just those 3 ingredients, and it comes out amazing. And then I just put it in a jar, and this time I put a label on that says milk bath. Next, I'm going to use the Dr. Teal's to make a bath fizz by taking 1 cup of baking soda and then 1/2 cup of sugar-free lemonade mix. Now, the thing about this is it has to be sugar-free because citric acid has to be the first ingredient. That's what the combination of the baking soda and the citric acid is, which makes the fizz. And so any of these drink mixes that have citric acid as the first ingredient, then those are good. So there's all kinds of different flavors you could use, but citric acid has to be number 1. And then 1/2 cup of that, and then 1/2 cup of the Epsom salt. And that again is just the Dr. Teal's Epsom salt. Again, that already has the scent in it, so it gives again a wonderful scent to this bath fizz. And then I just mix all the ingredients together and place it in a jar labeled Bath Fizz. And this is like a bath bomb in a jar. You just dump the whole thing in and it has the same effect. And then lastly, I'm going to make a salt scrub. And this only needs 2 ingredients. You need the Epsom salt and some coconut oil. And then just put them both in a bowl. I did have to melt down that coconut oil a little bit. And you can use olive oil or almond oil. as well in this recipe. And then you just give it a good stir and it is all set. And then I just place it in a jar with the salt scrub label. Dr. Teal's also makes the body wash in the matching scent. They didn't have it at my Walmart, so I just used another citrus scented body wash I had on hand to complete the set, but I would have preferred to have that to make it all the same scent. Another quick and easy DIY can be made using these small jar candles that you can find at mostly every supermarket. This one from Walmart was great because you just had to peel off that label, and the bottom label still has the scent information. Then I'm going to use one of these 3 labels, and again I have these linked in the description box. I'm going to go ahead and use the spa-like one for the front, but then here's an idea just to see how the best mom ever, for example, label would look on the same candle. And you just, again, I'm actually using the glue stick version here of just going ahead and using the glue stick to attach this label to the front of this candle. And now here's a look at all of our spa-inspired bath DIYs all together. What a great gift to give to mom, and all from the grocery store. Believe it or not, the cedar plank and black link tray is also made from grocery store items and was featured in a previous video, which I will link here as well as in the description box. And here's another great idea for a Mother's Day gift from a previous video, which features a whole suite of bathroom accessories made again from items you can get at the grocery store, including a tissue box, toothbrush holder, and makeup organizer, amongst others. And you can find the link here and in the description box. Is mom now working from home? Maybe she can use some desk organization with these items, again, all made from items you can get from the grocery store. You can link to those here as well as in the description box. How about a plant for mom's new work-at-home desk, or anywhere for that matter? Most supermarkets sell these small house plants as well as the planters to plant them in, but I'm going to go ahead and use this recycled tomato can and just go ahead and paint it white. And then I'm going to take this label. Again, I will provide a link to these in the description box. After it's been painted white and the paint has dried, I'm going to go back with a sanding sponge and just remove some of the paint from the ends, from the edges and the little ridges. And then I'm going to go ahead and again use some Mod Podge to attach the label to the can. And I will post a homemade Mod Podge recipe in the description box below. To again keep the print and the graphic from bleeding, I'm going to go ahead and spray it with the hairspray again. And then once all of that is dry, I'm going to go back with some Mod Podge on top. And then here is my finished project. At this time of year, you can usually also get herbs at supermarkets. And here I have some rosemary and basil and some cilantro and some parsley. And they will happily sell you a planter for those as well. But I'm going to go ahead and recycle this Snuggles canister that I had that I just painted white. And then I'm going back with a makeup sponge and some black craft paint and just going along the edges of the container, a distressed enamel look. Once the paint is dry, I'm going to go ahead and again apply a label that I printed off of my computer. And again, I will have those linked in the description box below. And this one just says fresh herbs, homegrown. And again, doing the same process with the Mod Podge and then some hairspray. And then I will let those completely dry before applying a top coat of the Mod Podge. And then here is the finished project. Next, I took some of that rosemary along with a couple cloves of garlic, and I want to add them to this wonderful Star Golden Balsamic Vinegar that I found at Walmart for $1.98 in this beautiful jar. And so what I want to do here is just remove the label, and it did take some work to get that label off. I did have to soak it and use the Goo Gone, but once I had removed the label, I just took the cap off. And then I just popped off that little shaker top that's on the top. It just kind of pops right off. And then I took the 2 cloves of garlic, popped those into the bottle, and then added my sprig of rosemary. And now I will need to shake this up. You should really do this about 2 weeks before giving it as a gift. It does take about 2 weeks for the flavors to kind of marry there. Then I just added back the little shaker top and then the black cap on top. You give it a good shake, and then, like I said, and about 2 weeks later, you have a nice flavored vinegar. Next, I just added some twine and a little tag that I had printed off, which again will be in the description box. And another thing you can add to this would be some Italian herbs for dipping. And you can pretty much just use any Italian herbs. I will supply a recipe for a good dipping herb recipe in the description box. And then if you add to those a nice bottle of olive oil and a little chafing dish that you can find in pretty much any of the supermarkets in the cooking section, you have a great little gift. The next DIY is also another foodie gift. And in this case, we're going to be doing some cheese and crackers. So I'm actually going to use a real wheel of brie as well as a recycled 28-ounce can of tomatoes. And then I'm also going to use these sustainable straws that I got from Walmart. These are like paper straws, but they're not. They're really nice. They're almost like plastic. And then I'm going to use them to decorate both my can and my brie box. I'm going to need all of the straws to cover the exterior of the can. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all those to 4.5 inches first, because that happens to be the length of my can. And then I'll use the remnants to cut the brie box straws. You can use your glue of choice for this project. You can use the white glue. I like this Type Bond glue because it's really thick and it dries really fast. You can also use hot glue. It's just hot glue is my nemesis. So whenever I can get away with not using hot glue, I prefer not to. And then I'm going to just go ahead and add the cut straws to the side of my can. And then once my can was complete, I went back with my 1.5 inch straws that I cut from the remnants of the other straws, because you want to make sure you have enough of the longer straws to fit around the can. I went back and cut the remaining straws into 1.5 inch pieces, which I then placed around the lid of the brie container. And then once that was done, I just went back with some white craft paint and painted the lid top, just because I didn't want to have any of that bright yellow kind of poking through once I applied the flowers. Then I just took some flowers and added one to the center of the box, and then added some more flowers all the way around. At this stage, you could just add the brie lid to the can bottom and it makes a lovely box. But I'm going to go back and add my brie bottom and my brie cheese to the lid. And then I'm going to take a treat bag that I filled with some pretzel crisps and add those to the can. Then I'm going to just reattach the cheese on the top. And you can tie this together with a string or a bow or twine. But first I decided to add back some of the leaves. So I just went back and took the leaves off of the stems from the flowers. And now I'm going to just go in between each of the roses and add in the green leaves. And here's the finished project. And again, you can use this to do the brie with the crackers as a gift, but then use the box afterwards for all types of purposes. Enough with the savory, how about some sweet? Does mom like ice cream? Well, here's a great gift that you can get, again, at the grocery store. How about starting with some waffle bowls, some sprinkles, some caramel syrup, maraschino cherries, and some mixed nuts. Now, these great value items from Walmart come in some great packaging, except for that big glaring great value sign. And so to pretty that up a little bit, I took these 97-cent stickers that I got from Walmart, these pretty little pastel flowers, and I'm going to just take them and cover all of the great value signs, because I do want to use this packaging and all of these items as part of the gift basket. And then once all the stickers were applied, it was just a matter of stacking all the components. And so I started with the waffle box as the base, that's almost acting like the basket. And then I added the caramel syrup, the mixed nuts, the sprinkles, and the cherries. And then when it was all completed, that's what it looked like. And then once it was wrapped in cellophane and put with a big pretty pink bow, this is what the final project looked like. Is mom a breakfast fan? How about offering to make breakfast in bed? I started with some of this Hungry Jack buttermilk pancake mix, and then some of these peaches in this beautiful glass jar, and then some toffee almond granola, which I taped the backs back so that it would fit properly in the basket. And then I'm going to add a couple of these Aunt Jemima. I thought that they were muffin mix. They're actually little pancakes. They do have muffin ones at the store. And then some Hungry Jack syrup in the front, and it makes a great little breakfast gift basket. If mom's a coffee lover, how about one of these latte and cookies baskets? that are made again with items you can purchase at the grocery store. I'm just starting with some of the Noni's biscottis to the back, and then 2 of the Starbucks Frappuccinos in the front, and then a bag of Mint Milano cookies in the middle. If your mom is more like, keep the lattes, give me the juice, then you may want to just get a can of her favorite brew and add a label which just simply reads Mom Fuel. Top that with a mom theme coffee mug, and then you can just tie that all together and make a great gift for mom. If your mom is less about the grounds and more about the pods, then you may want to get her a selection of her favorite pods, as well as make her one of these coffee pod holders made from cardboard and paper towel rolls. This as well is a previous DIY, and I will link it here and in the description. Maybe your mom is more about tea than coffee. If so, look at these fantastic Teavana canisters that they now sell at the supermarkets. They come in all these great flavors, and best of all, they look like little flower pots. And so I'm just going to take some of these oversized peony flowers, and they do have a little stem sticking up there, so I'm going to just kind of snip that off because I want the flowers to lay flat on my lids of my little tea canisters. And so I'm going to just add some hot glue there to the back of the flower. And then once all 3 flowers have been attached to my 3 different canisters, I'm going to take some 10-inch square pieces of tissue paper, pink tissue paper, and then I'm going to arrange it so that the corners are not lined up, so that they're kind of scattered. And then I'm going to take my canister of tea and just wrap the tissue paper around it so that it makes like you would have in a flower shop. And then I'm going to take a rubber band so that I can hold the tissue paper in place. And then once that rubber band is in place, I'm going to pull the tissue paper around to make sure that I'm getting some nice coverage around the canister. And then that also helps it to stay in place so that I can tie a ribbon around the bottom of the canister. And then I just repeated this for all 3 canisters. And when these 3 were finished, I placed them in a little crate that I also got from Walmart for about $5. And you can see the finished project here. I just love this tube lavender holder wall hanging that I made from recyclables in my last video. And you can find a link to that video here. But in this video, I wanted to give it a Mother's Day update. And so I'm going to remove the little tag that says lavender. And then I'm going to add a little sign that says, first my mother, forever my friend. Now in the original video, I did use a metal backing for the sign. And I just used that from a little scrap of tin pan. But in this one, I'm going to just go ahead and apply the label right to the box. And again, I will have a free printable of this linked in the description box below. And again, I'm going to let this dry, and then I will spray it with some hairspray to keep that print from bleeding before adding my top coat. And if you're in Walmart picking up that lavender, you're going to want to pick up these. Oh my goodness, look at these beautiful springtime plates. These are $2.48 each. They are from the Pioneer Woman line. And I just could not pass them by. I was walking to get the flowers and saw these and said, I just got to get these. They're going to make the best tiered tray. And so I purchased one of these vases to be the riser. And then I also had a salad plate, a dinner plate, and a bowl. And then in order to do the riser to match, I just picked up some of this gloss enamel paint. And then I'm going to add that to the inside of my glass vase. I'm going to add about a teaspoonful of paint, and then maybe about a half teaspoonful of water. And then I'll just give that a little stir. Just want to thin that paint out just a little bit so that it spreads for me a little more easily. And I'm basically going to just move it around the inside of my jar and then start tapping it down on some newspaper and just try to get all that excess paint out of the inside, as well as make sure that I get full coverage on the inside of the vase. And then I'll just take a wet cloth and wipe off any of the paint on the outside and then just leave it to dry overnight. And then I'm just going to attach all of my pieces with some E6000 glue. I'll start first with the bowl that I've turned upside down and add some E6000 to the top there, center the dinner plate on top, Follow that by the vase with some E6000 on the top and the bottom, and then my salad plate on the top. And then here is what the finished project looks like. You can fill that up with some of Mom's favorite treats, and then she'll have a gift to enjoy for years to come. Also, as I made my way through the aisles of Walmart, I came by some sun hats and some sunscreen and sunglasses and thought, what a great gift they would make. And again, you know, these are just things that you can get at any supermarket, including books. A lot of times the supermarkets sell different books and novels. I know definitely the larger Walmarts have them. And then maybe some drink that Mom likes. And then also some sunscreen spray. And then maybe some chapstick for sunscreen chapstick. And then also some sunscreen for the face, along with a pair of sunglasses. Wrap that up and you have a wonderful Mother's Day gift that she can truly use and enjoy. Next is a Mother's Day favorite, photo gifts. And for years, one of my favorite things to do was to use the artistic effects in products like Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint to create little works of art. And you do this by just simply uploading a photo, go to Format Picture, and then choose Artistic Effects. And then you can choose from there which style you want to do. I did the feature paintbrush here and then added a nice little caption. This makes a great gift for someone who lives far from home or travels a lot. But it doesn't have to be a home picture. It could also be a location that you frequently went to or that you really enjoyed and Mom would instantaneously recognize as that special place. Or maybe it's a family photo that you can change into a different finish, like sepia in this example, or black and white like this one. Now you can print and frame one of these in a pretty frame, or alternately, you could apply them to a plaque. Now this plaque I purchased at Walmart for 97 cents. And I'm going to just take that picture of the house with the little saying. I'm going to cut that out, and then first I'm going to paint the plaque itself black. You could also stain it. And then once that's dry, I'm going to just go ahead and add some more of my Mod Podge to the surface. And the trick with these, especially with like larger pieces of paper like this picture is going to be, it's a 5x7. So I want to make sure that that Mod Podge is nice and thin and that it's even a little bit dry. And then I can just go ahead and apply the picture. And with that method, you tend not to get any of the kind of bunching and crinkling that happens sometimes with Mod Podge. And then to protect against any potential color bleed, I'm again going to spray it with some hairspray. Once it is again completely dry, I'll go ahead and add my top coat of Mod Podge. And here's my finished project. And what a great way to create a customized personal gift. And if you wanted to go the frame route, but wanted something with a little bit more pizzazz, here is another great option. And this is also something great for the kids to help out with. So in this one, I'm just going to take a regular frame. These have kind of a flat top and bottom, nothing with ridges or anything. And then I'm going to be cutting some squares of crepe paper that I will be attaching to the frame. And now you can use your glue of choice, hot glue or regular white glue. As I mentioned earlier, I really do like this tight bond because it's nice and thick and dries really fast. And then I'm going to take the end of a pencil and just wrap my crepe paper square around the end of the eraser and then dip it in some glue and just add it to my surface of my frame. And then it's going to go all the way around the frame just like that. And then I'll start on the front and just follow the same process all the way around. And then that's the finished project. It makes a wonderful frame, especially for a black and white photo. And now for something completely different. How about some beautiful floral magnetic refrigerator clips to hold all that awesome artwork that Mom and Grandmom get throughout the year? I simply took some flower heads and hot glued those to these magnetic clips. You can purchase the clips at most supermarkets and the flowers at most supercenters. All of these items were purchased at the Dollar Tree, which does sell groceries and technically is considered a grocery store. And here are the finished magnets waiting to hang all of their beautiful works of art. And if you happen to be in the Dollar Tree, I just wanted to point out some other Mother's Day gift ideas from previous videos, including this Organization Hacks video linked here and in the description box, where you can find jewelry, cosmetics, and supplement organizers, as well as other options that will make great Mother's Day gifts. For some great ideas on putting together gift baskets and sets, be sure to check out this video, which is actually from Christmas, but gives several year-round ideas for bath, cooking, and drink mix gift sets that Mom is sure to love. Plus, this video also has 10 pro secrets for making great gift baskets wherever you get the materials. And lastly, here are some other great Mother's Day gift ideas, and best of all, you don't even need to leave the house to make these, as they are all made from repurposed, recycled materials and also items from nature. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this Mother's Day gift ideas DIY video, made mostly from items that you can purchase at grocery stores. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and please stay well and stay safe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on FABEDhacks, where we're putting the extra and ordinary one DIY at a time.